everyone, it's Maureen. I wanted to kind of show you here what I do have going on with Gertrude, who happens to be my second Model 66 Singer sewing machine. The last time that I showed you an update, what she was doing was tangling some threads and also was creating some rust. So you see some lines of rust here. Now I am using a off-white colored thread on a, there's some of the rust there, you can kind of see it right up here. So I'm using an off-white thread on a pretty bright white fabric. It allows me to see the stitches, but also I can see any rust that's being pulled up. But in the meantime, I was able to adjust her tension, which this is sort of the tension loop on these machines. And you can use a little screwdriver, so to speak, I guess, but really the tension, there's a little kind of a thumb finger adjustment right here that's easiest to use. There's a control button over here. I believe this controls stitch length, and this also controls the height of your presser foot. So we have a couple things going on here. I still have the off-white colored fabric. And what I'm gonna do is I have my white fabric, I'm gonna fold it in half. And these are just scrap pieces. I mean, I'm not using anything. Could I use these for something else? They would have probably ended up as cabbage or gusset material, things like that. So we're not talking anything here that is just precious and, you know, we're not really wasting anything. So what I've noticed also while operating the machine, I have a cord here that's not behaving, so hold on just a quick moment. There we go. Have to get that behind the machine. I don't know if we can zoom out. It's a little bit. But I have my hand crank. Just trying to control the direction of my fabric as it goes through the presser foot here. Yes, there's the creakiness of the table itself, so that is also a challenge. All right. And we've got a pretty good tension top and bottom, but I am still seeing some rust coming up, sadly, from the bottom of the machine. So it's a possibility that I'm going to need to purchase parts, because I have some linen cotton fabric that I plan on using. Let me see. Yeah, that is a little bit of dirt there. I also plan on purchasing like a dust devil, maybe to get up underneath these, the machine there, besides putting more oil in it and just working it through. It's definitely something that's gonna take some time to get just right. But we're on the right track because she sews beautifully. This is my mother's sewing table from the late 60s, early 70s or so. Actually, they set up house in 1976, so actually around 76 is the age of this table. And you can go pretty fast, actually. The trick, though, I've noticed with a crank, as far as a hand crank machine, is trying to control the material going under the feed dog and the presser foot while trying to crank the wheel, which can be really tricky. Let's see here. That was much better. So I think we're running into situations where, depending on how the threads get caught underneath the machine, is whether or not they get rust on them or no. With the machines, I plan on really using them just for interior seams. So let's say if she gets some on a shirt. I mean, I can spot treat if I really need to, but it's supposed to be in a spot that's not really noticeable. And most of the time, it's going to be on the body seams and maybe like the arm size, things that are going to be interior and need a little bit of strength bearing. You know, can I sew it all by hand? Sure, but I have these wonderful machines, so why would I, you know, just fix them up and not use them? Seems to be a very pointless exercise in frivolity. Maybe just a few moments here while we get to the end. Maybe I will have to see about the joints in this table. Make sure that they are shored up as much as possible. I added a piece of carpet underneath the table itself to prevent it from sliding around on the concrete floor. And there's the mat that's underneath the treadle table. So I mean, I think that not only gives it a homey feel, but it also, as you're working with the machines, and this one, treadle table, needs to have you pedal it, it allows you to make sure that they're not sliding across the floor, because I do have the casters on caster cups. I don't know if you'd be able to see from here or not. It doesn't look like it. But let me just pull this away. There's one of the caster cups. What the caster cup does is basically prevents the wheel, or caster in this case, from digging into the concrete floor or rolling around on the concrete floor inadvertently. So I bought, you can buy those at pretty much like Walmart or any big box store. In that case, as far as caster cups go, if you have one of those treadle table machine, or treadle table with a machine in it, especially if it's on upstairs on wood floors, I'd still put caster cups and a rug underneath it, just for the sake of those pressure points on your wood floor. Definitely would not recommend, you know, having it straight on the floor. I'm sure there's places or people that have had it straight on their floor years ago. It probably left a mark. So that's one thing to consider. Where you're putting your table makes a big difference, as well as protecting your floor and things of that nature. But yes, there is a library of books that I don't have upstairs. Several doll books. The second shelf down here, these are all embroidery books. And there's more even below that, which are like books of hours and things of this nature. All sorts of research material. Let's see, so on our third line here, yeah, we're not picking up any rust anymore. So it seems to have worked itself out. It's something I will have to keep an eye out for this machine, but look at how beautifully it's sewing. Beautiful, tiny little nice stitches, which can be adjusted. You can make bigger stitches. But other than that rust, which I will cover over with my thumb, that's some nice seams. So I just wanted to show you how Gertrude is sewing. And other than maybe little challenges with some of the underside still having some rust on them, and I will probably be buying replacement parts there, and that should take care of the situation. I wanted to thank everyone for the opportunity to have this wonderful channel on YouTube. We are really close to 100 subscribers, and when that happens, I will be posting a live Q&A where you can ask me questions. So keep an eye out for that. And if you should have any questions about vintage machines, Tudor sewing, vintage sewing in general, or of course on any other topics like doll making, embroidery, feel free to send me a message in the comments. Keep an eye out on this channel because exciting things are happening. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you click on the bell notification, it lets you know when I upload. I try to upload every Friday. Sometimes my upload schedule is a little off because I do work a full-time job besides YouTube. But keep an eye out on this space. More to come. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.